It is a special day, everybody. We are here in the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise rebuild live with the preseason for year 3. And this is my first live stream on the second channel in far too long. Today we're going to go through some preseason games. Normally, I would just simulate through this and get us to week 1 of the new season. But I've wanted to kind of get back to some of the things that I haven't done in a while, and back in like the Texans series and some of my other franchises, we would do some live streaming. Usually for the preseason, I might open it up, but this has been one of my things I've wanted to do here in 2025. I want to deliver more live streams on the second channel. So welcome everyone to the Jaguars franchise live here on MrHurriicaneLP. And glad to see the chat filling up. This is gonna be fun. I can't wait to get into year 3. We have some interesting storylines already surrounding this team, including how unhappy wide receiver Eli Arrington is with basically every interaction that I have with him. We have him for some reason at -5 catching right now. I don't know exactly where that comes from, but he tried to force us to change quarterbacks in the offseason. I declined. Not because I am trying to say Trevor Lawrence is still the long-term guy, but because I couldn't identify what quarterback I would target if we replace Lawrence. I did not like the way the draft's set up. I did not want to trade away all of our future picks to try to move all the way up for the top quarterback, Justin Rice. And when I saw the oblivious sense of pressure on quarterback Gary Paul, combined with the round 2 to 3 talent, I wasn't confident in him. Then the talent grades shifted. We got to the, next stage of the offseason, and Gary Paul then had round 1 to 2 talent. So that told me he was basically on the cusp of those two tiers. 73 overall makes sense. He happens to have hidden development and landed with the Detroit Lions. We'll have to see if he ends up making an impact in this series or not, but I chose not to address quarterback. Eli Arrington isn't happy about it. So what are we doing going into this new season? Well, let me go to the main menu quick. One second, I'm going to cut off the video because they show a lot of like real NFL footage when you hover over franchise mode, but let me get to the playbook because that's what I wanted to have as one of our new things for this year. I spent some time doing some heavier editing to the game plan and smoothing a lot of it out. Love the jacket. Thank you, Willie. This was a Christmas gift from my wife. This is the Astrobot like PlayStation 30th anniversary sweatshirt. Astrobot was a phenomenal game. I loved playing through that one. But this is our playbook now going into this year. And I've added some new stuff into the core of the playbook. To me is first down, second and medium, second and short. Because like second and long, third and long, those are all kind of telegraph situations. Like you carve out your identity, what you do when you have all options at your disposal, right? So I've tried to find some passes that allow us to get a little more vertical this year. I want to try getting the ball downfield more to Eli Arrington and to Brian Thomas Jr. So I've added in a couple new formations. I've tried to not get too out of hand with the downfield passing and, still have a lot of passes where there are good check down options and where the deep routes can open up the underneath for, in this case, this would be a Travis Etienne play. But part of why I'm streaming today is because I think that it'll be fun to at least demo these changes in the preseason, see if I have any more tweaks to make, and then we get to the real thing. Year 3 gets underway here tomorrow. So this is a very optional episode if you're not really into live streams and not everybody wants to watch a couple hours of content, which is what I believe we'll have today. But normally I'd be simming past this and recording week 1 for tomorrow anyway. It is completely extra content. I am going to do some training camp drills though. So let's do Yeah, we'll do the 2 quarterback ones here quick. Did the playbook update affect anything? I haven't... Until we get on the field, I won't know what all it will change. It's still going to be like I'm simulating using the Jaguars offense because it is meant to be an offense that tries to get vertical. If you just look at the descriptions of each playbook, it's one of the few that emphasizes going vertical. And last year, I only directly simulated 1 or 2 games, so I didn't get a good sample of knowing what it's like to just straight sim full games. We watch a fair amount of gameplay, so I wanted to at least adjust the plays that we are going to see, no matter what, and then kind of go from there. If I still don't like the direction of it, why'd you miss that? Then I can maybe change the entire simulation playbook. But very few actually say, this is an offense designed to get the ball downfield. And the Jags has it. And in one of the games where we simulated last year, Lawrence did have 8.4 yards per attempt, well above his season average. So it is all an experiment. Are you uploading Bulls today after live stream? We'll see, James. We'll see. Love the Gems second round D end. Are you thinking of moving Walker inside permanently? He's probably going to play a lot of his snaps there. We have a hidden dev rookie, so we're going to try to get him on the field. Now, I know a lot of you saw that Aiden Hutchinson was available in the offseason. I did not go after him. Reason was, is we already have so much invested into D-end. I didn't want to deal with the contract. I'm sure for a year it wouldn't have been a big deal. But I decided to not really bother with that situation. I tried to get Brian Branch instead. And then I ended up spending a fair amount of our cap space. We have 30 in space available right now. Hutchinson would have been at least 40. So... obviously, I could have found a way to make it work, but I didn't think the heavy investment there into edge really made sense at that time when we already have 2 guys. So we're doing pocket presents here with Chuck Johnson, who got to start in Week 18 a year ago, and it was... fun to see him get the chance, but it doesn't look like he is quite the quarterback of this team's future. And that's something else we have to figure out this year is, do we have other options if this all falls apart again with Trevor Lawrence? So I plan on scouting the quarterbacks basically the same way all over again if it happens to be a good class. As we're going to get silver here with Mr. Chuck Johnson. Lar, I appreciate that, gifting 5 memberships to the channel. I totally forgot that was even a feature here on YouTube. So I really appreciate that. The channel memberships get you access to an exclusive live stream every month. And the channel memberships are a way to help support me. This is what I do full-time, making content. But every month I do an exclusive live stream with the channel members where I talk about different ideas I have for the channel, new things that are coming. And usually I'm recording something that a lot of times it ends up being baseball. I'm playing Cardinals franchise and I just take stuff from that to put in the next episode, or I play something else random. And there have been videos that have come out of channel member live streams. It has been a while that I've done something random that created a video, but that's what happens every month for that. And big thanks to Lar for gifting 5 here to the chat. I still think Trevor is the guy, but a newer tweaked playbook definitely needed. And that's, what we're going to get around to today. Do we have a scheme that's going to work? I think given our playmakers, given what Lawrence does well, that I added some good stuff. But I guess we will find out. And something else we get to do that we wouldn't usually get to is see players like late rounder C.J. Merriweather. He's going to play. He's going to be our primary backup running back today, trying to make the team as the 3rd running back. Had we not done this stream, we'd just sim and kind of see what happens. But maybe he can leave an impression today. Maybe something happens in this stream that has a big impact on what happens tomorrow in week 1 and then beyond. But to me, it was important to get back to some of the streaming. It's some of the most fun content that I do. And do you guys have any idea how long it's been since I've streamed on this channel? It actually makes me sick to think about it. 598 days since I last streamed here on the second channel anything. And that stream was an early A's franchise live stream where we were checking out Joe Michael. And I think that live streaming is going to become like an optional part of the series that I do from now on. You know, when I do baseball again, we should be playing extra games here in the streams. We should be checking out the prospects for a couple hours and being able to possibly add things to the series, get you more invested if you like live content. I try not to stream like the most important stuff because like the video isn't, they're not meant to be stream series, but I want streams to at least complement. And the streams I've done in the past, I've done really well. So we are getting back to the way I used to do some of these series. You know, I think this one so far at the Jags has been a breath of fresh air for me, getting to move at a faster pace. You'll feel like I'm getting a really good experience out of it. And then to see all the great feedback and to be on to year 3 now. And then we got a stream fired up here, 400 plus watching right now. I really appreciate it, guys. And thank you for the super chat there, Justin. Thank you so much. No message in there, but the fire emojis. Hopefully we can have a few more of those fire emojis popping with the action today. A little, you know, calm before the storm here, getting in these training camp drills, but might give us a couple of upgrades, including this one to CJ Merriweather. And then Gary says, thanks for the content. Go Broncos. First playoff game since Super Bowl 50 versus Super Bowl MVP. That is right. The Broncos had not made it since that defense dragged the late career Peyton Manning to the Super Bowl and they beat the Broncos. I can't believe maybe Bronco fans think differently, but to me, the team that lost to Seattle was a better team than that beat Carolina. It's just one was a very defensive-driven team, and one was a high-powered, high-octane offense that ran into the Legion of Boom at the worst possible time. What MLB The Show team are you doing? I don't know yet, but I know when I get there, I would like it to be more of a larger project like the A's was, and not more of a mid-tier team like the Cardinals. I really like the drama with Eli Arrington last episode. Any thoughts on that going into preseason? I'm interested if anything else pops up. Like a lot of the storylines have already been kind of geared around him. Basically, you know, going into the year, it's something I'm keeping in mind. Oh my God, I'm really bad at this drill, especially. We'll see what happens to his ratings. We'll see if things accelerate from here. And, you know, we'll see what happens if this is not a successful season for us. We know star receivers, they don't like not getting the ball and they don't like losing. So, we got ourselves, you know, a great player, but we are not keeping him happy. Oh my God, I go for the hit stick and I miss it every time. How do you feel about Vikings-Rams? It's hard to know how to feel about them right now. Like, Darnold did not look good, obviously, against Detroit. They couldn't convert in the red zone. Really struggled against the blitz, which is something they had done so well this season. But they also seem to struggle a lot with the man coverage. So I don't really know going into this game. I mean, the Rams are one of the teams that beat them. I guess I don't have any expectations any longer. I just hope they can, you know, don't embarrass us, man. 14 wins is awesome. But, you know, this team loses one game, and when they lose, they really make you hurt. If you ever made your, one sec. Let me try to see if I can get silver on this. Not sure I have time for it. If you ever... It ever make you mad you draft fun players for your sim franchises? No, I think I know what you're trying to say. Like, I don't actually play with them, but to me, it's still really enjoyable to just watch them play and develop. It's a very different experience to do it that way. But, you know, I get to edit the playbook, and I try to put them in positions to get the most out of their skills. And to me, like, even when I'm playing, I'm more so trying to minimize my personal impact on things. Like, obviously, if I'm playing, I'm going to have an impact, but I don't want it to be like my skill would dictate everything. That's why I try to make the games when I'm playing, you know, very balanced. I want the players to ultimately stand out, good or bad, in the outcomes. So, no, it doesn't really make a big difference to me there. What Gopher or Warhawk does Arrington remind you of? I don't know if he reminds me directly of any of the receivers that I've had outside. Help me with the name here, guys. Late Kalispell Dynasty, dynamic receiver. Only played with him for a short while. Who am I thinking of? Oh, man. I didn't get to play with him that many years. Oh my god, he's too fast. He's so good. I'm playing here with Baxter, who has 87 speed. He's our first round pick. I have to, like, guess on the routes. I don't like doing this drill very much. Phoenix Chambers. It might have been Phoenix Chambers is who I'm thinking of. Could be that, yeah. That sounds right to me. I'm going to try again to try to get a medal here. Good to see streams coming back to the Madden series. Found you during the Bucks franchise. Been doing sim rebuilds ever since. Much love. I love seeing people get into the format like this. It was almost an accident, you know, stumbling into it. Because if you'll remember, when I did that series, I had experimented with a Lions series on the main channel where I was really just trying to minimize my impact on the team's success. I wanted it to be about the players. And I figured it out. And then I figured out that the slow sim gameplay is quite clean in a lot of these Maddens. And it creates, you know, I think it creates really fun content. I cannot keep up with him. I have to make a play on one of these reps. There's like too much field to try to cover. He's just going to go vertical. There's no more I can do there. I'm going to try one more time on it. Why don't I import a 2025 draft class for my first draft? Mostly because that's not really like a highlight for me doing series like this. Like, I enjoy having players that are unique to the series, that can kind of carve out their own personality. And if you followed a lot of the series that I've done, you'll remember names from all over the place. And to me, it has more of an impact when it is, you know, a brand new player who can carve out their own identity and personality in the series, rather than somebody we already know. Say I have, you know, a really good receiver or something. Like, that's exciting, but it's not unique. And, like, you could find 100 other channels where that player exists. But I enjoy getting cooked on pivot routes. So it really wouldn't add to the experience for me. There was a time when I had real draft classes. That was in the very beginning, back when NCAA had exported classes. But since we've had true auto-gen classes, I haven't done that. All right, I'm getting bronze. Get out of here. Would you do a Dolphins series again at some point? And for MLB, would you do a Marlins series since they are so bad? Marlins are definitely under consideration for this year. I am also thinking of the Rays, depending on what their team looks like going into the new season, because they have a lower budget and have a really tough division. And I guess the same is true for the Marlins. I don't know budget-wise how the Marlins and Rays compare, but I think they would both be on the lower end. Trying to catch up on the super chats here. Ideas for a new CFB Dynasty team. I love good unis. Good uniforms. There's a team that I was thinking of not that long ago. I like Toledo's uniforms. You know, we've played them in the MAC. I really do like Toledo's set a lot. Toledo has some pretty good players, too, to get a dynasty started with. Northern Illinois has decent uniforms. Got the MAC on my mind here. This is a goofy drill. Oh, I missed. Sorry, Trevor. I'm taking my bronze. What about Western Michigan? I'm not as crazy about their scheme. Their color scheme. The Wyoming cowboy almost look to them. I might do a couple more of these drills here. Yeah, I got some young receivers I could do the wide receiver battle with here. Let's go. So I saw some comments about moving Joe Wilder to tight end, and maybe we can use this stream as a way to at least experiment and see what he looks like there. He's a big body receiver. He has like 90 speed, and he might be a good like move to tight end candidate. Definitely not a great blocker, but he has like the blocking ratings of a vertical tight end that would get drafted in the mid rounds. It's like a 57. So, you know, if you guys want to see Joe Wilder as a tight end today, I think we could fit that in. Thoughts on Bo Nix? Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with his season because I don't think I've ever really been a big Bo Nix guy, but although I wouldn't say like he looks like a high level quarterback, he looks like someone that you can like build a winning team around. He's taking care of the football. He's been a little bit more of more than just like a check down guy this season. I think he's been pretty good. And I like the connection he's gotten with Cortland Sutton. And honestly, I think a lot of quarterbacks struggle to... Guys like Cortland Sutton, for me, are almost a litmus test for quarterbacks because he's not like a separation-oriented receiver. Like, he is going to probably have more contested catches, and I think that as a quarterback, you're going to have less, like, so-called easy looks when you throw to a receiver like him. And Sutton has had, like, a career year playing with rookie Bo Nix. They especially played well down the stretch. So, I think they got a pretty good thing going on there. Do you remember the last Virginia Tech receiver you moved to tight end? I mean, I remember in the Bucs franchise when I moved Ollie Kitchens. I don't know. Ooh, I got an upgrade there for Wilder. I don't know if Ollie Kitchens went to VT. I can't remember his school. It was Barry Roy. That is super random. How do you remember that? How was that on the mind? Kane, who is your NFL MVP? I think, oh man. I'd probably go Josh Allen this year, although like it's not like Lamar doesn't deserve it all over again. I really liked the argument that Dan Orlovsky made when he was talking about the exact question and just I forget every point that he made in there. But just what they've done this year offensively and the fact that there aren't a lot of stars within that offense with him. And he has beaten both, you know, #1 seeds. And we've seen the touchdown production, the lack of turnovers this year. I'd probably go Allen, but if like Lamar won it, it's not like he wouldn't deserve it again for the third time. So who's the random player you're going to move to receiver in this series? You know, I don't know if we have that player yet. I have to find me a receiver with high ball carrier vision. I think it really helps that Browns series that I happened to come across my best position conversion story ever. Like, on my first try. Perry Cummings is like one of the most iconic players, I think, to come out of any of these series. A receiver turned running back with dynamic speed that won Rookie of the Year, that took us to a Super Bowl. I mean, he's one of a kind. What series is Perry from? I hear the name but never seen it. That is the Cleveland Browns 0-16 rebuild I did back in 2018. It is the first, if you like this series, that was the first one I had ever done. And when I started it, I had no idea that it was actually going to be a long-term series. Eli is so good. It was meant to be a small, short series, and it ended up becoming much more, and I've been doing the series basically ever since. There's no recovering there. He is the best running back I've drafted. He is the only running back that's really transformed a team that I've had. And he was a wide receiver, a mid-round pick that I moved to running back. And then I took him, he went to Air Force, okay? So my headcanon was always that he was Air Force's quarterback. They wanted to, you know, move him to receiver in the NFL, and then I decided, no, he is a running back. So I played out a season of him at Air Force. Man, imagine a full Perry Cummings Road to Glory in the new game. That would be incredible, actually. I only got one more drill to go here. I'm going to skip the special team stuff. And I'm actually going to go Brian Thomas on this one, I think. I want to get him more of a boost. I'm doing Tim Cannon right now. Let me focus on one Road to Glory at a time. I dropped that video on Christmas Eve, and I'm planning to do a junior season video here sometime in January. As long as it makes it up this month, I'm happy with that. I've wanted to do more series this year that are only a handful of episodes, and they might not come out as often, but they're going to be very substantial videos, you know, like an entire junior year in that case. I'm doing a lot of experimenting because there are some changes I've wanted to make. There are more things I want to get to that I continue to miss year after year. So, you know, I'm figuring some things out as I go. And we're going to get to some preseason games here soon. Just wrapping this up. Just made my own version of this series with the Titans. I think you can have a lot of fun with it. Nice grab. Oh, you're working on the Gophers series right now. Yeah, that was a special one. That was my first series I've done where I went like more than the usual 4 to 6 standard years because NCAA wasn't coming out anymore. I suddenly had a series I could just kind of stick with. I don't get my upgrade screen here popped up. I'm going to go do it this way then. Hey, Kane, as a lifelong Commanders fan, this is the happiest I've ever been. Thank you, Jaden Daniels, our savior. Can't wait for the playoffs this weekend. Yeah, Jaden's been so impressive this season. And now, like, the more I think about it, it's like he was a Heisman Trophy winner who went number 2 and still somehow flew under the radar. And I'm included in the people that weren't really thinking of him as like a game changer there. I don't know. I was excited to see, obviously, Caleb Williams in Chicago. I like Drake May a lot, but he went to a team where he had very little chance to win. I guess the expectations It seemed across the board weren't that high for Daniels, and then like 2 weeks into his career, he completes like 90% of his passes in prime time. They win, and kind of the story grew from there. He's extremely impressive. When did you start watching games instead of playing them? I found you during baseball season. This is my first NFL series with you. It was back during the Browns 0-16 rebuild. You know, it was just at a time where I wanted to find a way to make the players stand out more and for me to have less of an impact. And it certainly worked. Now my upgrade player thing is there. We earned a few good upgrades during those drills, so let's apply those. Chuck Johnson, we're going to go field general. So here's Joe Wilder, and leave your thoughts right now down below. Do you think we should try him at tight end right away, or give him a chance at receiver first? The route running does kind of scream more tight end than receiver. You know, the catching is a little bit low. The catching traffic is certainly low. But, I mean, I drafted him super late, so he was always going to be a bit of a project there. I'm going to go slot because, like, short routes, catching traffic, catching, no matter the position, those are all kind of key. So, it seems like you guys want to see him play at tight end today. We'll do that. Does he have any blocking potential? He's not going to be like a great blocking tight end if he sticks there. But let's check out his ratings now as a tight end. I'll get to CJ Merriweather here in a moment. I guess I'm always interested when you change these positions what a guy's overall becomes. We've been surprised before. And Wilder's a 70. That's very solid. So he's only a 34 blocking archetype, probably because like these run block ratings here are so low. And if he's a liability there, it's something we'll have to consider, but we will try it out. And then a running back, CJ Merriweather. And we're going to have to go with the elusive upgrades for him. Unfortunately, just given the way Madden stuff works, I don't have a ton of like late round success stories. I certainly have some, but I think the way the sim engine works, where you are not going to be successful starting a 68 overall running back, while a team in real life will plug in one of those guys and he'll be great immediately in the right situation. Madden doesn't allow for that when you're simulating. If we're focused only on watching, sure, you can have some success, but we're not watching 15 games a year in this series. We're past those days. Yep, Ellis Norton was a 6th rounder, and he was a tremendous success story who went from normal dev to like superstar. It can happen. It's just very rare. So we are going to get into the preseason now. Thank you for waiting for me to eventually get to this spot. I'll set up our focus players, and we'll get on to the games today. Baxter, Cooper, Lewis. That sounds good to me. Leo, I appreciate the super chat. Currently doing a Titan slow sim franchise. Gave Will Levis one more year, and it did not go well. Hopefully my rookie quarterback can turn it around. Best of luck to you. The Raiders rebuild did go too slow, but the Stockton meter was gold. I'm proud of the Stockton meter. And I spent more time on it than I probably care to admit. It didn't take me like hours, but it might have taken me an hour with some outside assistance. I think I had my wife help me make it. All right, guys. Let's finally watch some football. Got to make sure we have our new scheme chosen here. Custom Jags. And let the games begin. Have you noticed any coverage busts in CPU versus CPU? You know, at times in Madden, because there are different rules with each coverage and the types of plays they can face, there are some more logic busts than coverage busts. As far as guys like playing the wrong position, the closest thing you'll get is sometimes a guy reacts to the first player that enters his space, but locks onto him when he shouldn't. And then somebody else attacks that zone and exploits for a big gain. But a lot of that can come right back to, like I said earlier, some of these coverages, you know, they see a certain route and it converts to man coverage. You don't want that. Well, now you have a busted hole deep downfield. Married, I'd have lost a fortune on that. Wow. Absolutely no faith. All right, CJ Merriweather, get us underway with a return out to the 28-yard line. Over 500 here in the chat. First live stream in 598 days. Thank y'all for being here. I think like making this a tradition for the preseason would be fun. I'm also open, like, regardless of what I stream, I don't want it to slow the series down, right? We're going to open with a run. Travis Etienne gaining 6. But would you guys like to see me stream some regular season games? Say I was going to be simulating those games instead, like streaming to see them instead, I think is only a bonus for the series as we hand it to a tight end. Did I put a tight end jet sweep into this? I definitely put a jet sweep. But a tight end jet sweep. I don't know. I added this formation last night, I'm pretty sure. That's Y slot or Y spread, something like that. Puts a tight end in the slot instead of in line. Flipped ahead, and Etienne. Not much there. I have put a lot into 3rd and long, okay? A lot of fun plays. We got Arrington in the slot here next to Brian Thomas. I want to see Lawrence let it fly. Lawrence dumps it. Etienne, very close. We'll see if they go for it, and they will not. I wish this game had coach mode. It does have coach mode. But coach mode does have some deficiencies. I don't believe quarterbacks scramble, and I don't think they really know what to do on RPOs. I think they throw it every time. But coach mode is still very much an option, I believe. It's in College Football 25. Hey, Kane, are you planning on upgrading your videos to 1440p or 4K anytime soon? Is the world ready for 4K, Kane? I don't think it's imminent. It would first make sense if I'm capturing or recording at a true 1440p or 4K. Then I'd have to see, like, all right, what does that change for the, render times, how it goes for my editing software. I don't think it's like something that's about to happen, but I do watch more channels now that do have 4K content. It is nice. I have been interested in upgrading the camera I use. Believe it or not, I have used the same webcam the entire time that I've streamed. It has been over 12 years. And I'm still using a Logitech, I don't know what it is, C920 or something like that. And I think I should probably get something newer. I don't think the video is as clear and crisp as it could be. So I think that's more so the next thing I want to do. Yeah, same one. It still works. But it's probably time for an upgrade there. We're going to run this. Not far, though. I have something I actually need to see. As Lawrence on 2nd and 12. There's a downfield throw, and it's caught. And who is that? New receiver. I believe that's Trey Tucker. We have a lot of receivers that can do damage downfield, and we're going to make more of an effort to do that. Okay, that was David Montgomery who carried. Because I'm like, who is 37? All right. Got the info I needed. Nice to see you live again, Kane. Nice to see you here, Steve. Lawrence, intercepted! He wanted Trey Tucker. And this is the thing we have to, like, balance. Because Lawrence has been a bit turnover prone in the series. How does the style of play affect his turnovers? What is the best defense I ever had? I would say Broncos franchise during our 4 Super Bowl run, where I had Boogie Turner and Jamari Akinjide. I had a ridiculous defense in that series. All right, so I think I want to do some simulating here. I want to get to our next offensive drive, see if we get anything else with the starters. Because the way I believe it's set up here is starters still play the first quarter, then they play 2 quarters, then they play 3 quarters. Why won't you make it more realistic by using real draft classes? Makes for way better content. Not really what I'm looking for, and you'll notice here Eli Arrington carrying. I have put in some wide receiver backfield stuff directly for him. But overall, I like having my own players where they can develop their own, play style, personality, have more of a lasting impact on the channel than, if I just had, Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter and everybody else running around in the series. That's knocked down. The thing is if you can't throw it with touch, it gets a lot harder to throw it further downfield. And we haven't seen good touch out of Trevor in these drives. I would much rather have like Perry Cummings as a channel legend than like have drafted Ashton Genty and had him like take over a series. Honestly, I'd rather have it be a unique running back to the channel. John Wayne Unger makes that throw. Just saying. That's because he wouldn't miss. Brian Petrovsky makes that throw. Richard Hudick makes that throw. All right, guys. Backups are going to be coming in now. I want to get to our next offensive drive. We blocked a field goal. That's right. And let me set this up, and we'll get a look at Chuck Johnson. We're going to see C.J. Merriweather handle the backfield. We do have Luke McCaffrey, remember. Then we have Heath Tuck, I signed him. Julian Singh. And even listed at tight end, I can still play Joe Wilder as a wide receiver if I feel the need to. So I'll put Wilder as the starting tight end, and we'll see if he makes an impact there. Might be like 1 tackle short here, or 1 guard short, but we'll make it work. We're going to get Martin Cooper out there, number 92, the rookie, hidden development. Robert Spillane, Devon Lewis. Clark Phillips, DeAndre Prince. Let's go with Dennis Gregory. And I want extra snaps out here for Sergio Baxter, our rookie safety. I'll give Monty the power stuff. Slot receiver, Luke McCaffrey. Actually, I'm going to go Julian Singh. I want to see if McCaffrey can make an impact on the outside at all. I really appreciate the super chats, guys. I will catch up on them as fast as I can. Do you know what the guy that used to make your draft classes is up to these days? Yeah, I still talk to Blackjack. We keep in touch. We just haven't been able to work together in a little bit with these series, but the Broncos series wouldn't have been the same without him. Neither would the Kalispell series. Chuck Johnson airs it out, and Heath Tuck brings it down. That's the excitement we're looking for. Can Heath Tuck make this roster? He's a third-year receiver, 72 overall. Just saw he was available. Have you thought about using Revamped passing in this series? Revamped should be on. Johnson in traffic, incomplete. I was doing the drill earlier, and I had Revamped on, so if it wasn't on, I would move it. Yeah, Blackjack is the best, man. Working with him is always fun. It's been a while now since I've done it, but I always love collaborating with him. 3rd and 10 for Johnson. He can scramble, but can't escape. So we've had trouble sustaining possessions so far against Dallas. Put on the captain's hat, says Remy. Did you see it back here? We need to bring the Vikings some good luck this weekend, okay? We need Sam Darnold to put on his captain's hat and say, you know what? Detroit didn't go well. That's on me. But tonight, I will carry you across these oceans, and we will make it to our destination, and we will find the One Piece. Intercepted! Jaguars football. It's run back. It is going to go for a touchdown. And it's Dennis Gregory. Late round draft pick. I knew it would bring good vibes. That was a terrible throw. The Lions had Darnold seeing ghosts again. Why was he throwing it like he thought Justin Jefferson was 11 feet tall? How are you overthrowing TJ Hawkinson that much? Yes, they are playing in Los Angeles this week, and man, it's awful seeing what's happening there with those massive fires. I was seeing some of the shots last night, and it's got like an apocalyptic just view to it. So, you know, anybody in that area, I hope y'all are staying safe and doing well. I don't know what the state of the fires is right now. But yeah, that's scary stuff. There's a 21-yard scramble here for number 0, Bowman. There's too many interceptions in Madden. I think in general, it's just become like the way they've adjusted the engine and everything and pass trajectories, coverages. It's an era where interceptions are extremely easy to throw. And you know when the ball is in the air, the way DBs react. 50-50 balls oftentimes favor the defense. They attack the ball better. What is the origin of this hat? Remy got it for me. And it has powered me through a lot of Viking comebacks this year. It is not undefeated, though, unfortunately. But it has a winning record. Sailed on him. That was Sam Darnold throwing the TJ Hawkinson on the first drive. That was the 3rd down pass right there. Oh, going through it. Right in front of him. He caught it. Did I record the custom playbook creation? I did not. Would like to see your process. You have inspired me to make my own playbook. Would that be a decent video? Like putting together a game plan? A custom playbook game plan? I appreciate the honesty, Anthony. He says no. But Zach says yes. To me, it's not the most, like... There's not, like, a lot of things I have to teach you to do it. It's more so just, like, here's what you do. Intercepted again! How far is this one gonna go? Across the 50 and run down. That is Robert Spillane. Let's see. A lot of you seem to like it. Building a game plan that suits your team. I guess there are a couple things that I would have to say. You know, different things I'd focus on, you know, in terms of like route combinations or things to keep in mind in certain situations. Show you what Madden does by default and what I like to do differently. But also, it's, I guess, one thing that it's cool for is I believe if you're playing traditionally, even if you are playing the games, like the coach suggestions will draw from your game plan. And if you're someone who would like to get through your games a little bit quicker, I guess that would be one thing you could do, is have a custom game plan. And then, you know, the suggested plays, you know, are basically your own personal suggestions. Will I ever play NBA 2K again? I definitely will. Nice throw. Chucky. First down to Luke McCaffrey. The best McCaffrey brother, right? He's about to break out in a big way. It's Chuck Johnson. Threads it to the wild man. Touchdown. That was nice. Good job, Chuck Johnson. I am looking forward to the show 25, definitely. I want to come back to drop a better series this year. Bring back the San Diego surf. I love the surf. Do I have it here? 1 second. Might not be in here. Might be by my 360 or somewhere else. You know what 2K I want to fire up and play some night? NBA 2K10. I love that one. I just like seeing the cover. That Kobe Bryant cover goes hard. You know it. I was playing it last summer and I was having a lot of fun with it. I haven't played the new 2K game since the Surf series. Yeah, you can definitely slow sim an NBA. It's a nice way of suggesting, hey, Kane, you suck, but you could definitely do a series this way. I've thought about it. I like 2K a lot. When I have played it, like, I always have a good time when I check it out. I do get frustrated because I'm like the worst ball handler on the planet, and I have a very elementary understanding of floor spacing. But I like to believe I'm an average learner and could figure it out. I hear that my GM is in rough shape this year, though. I've heard some negative things. Pressure from the secondary. Wide open. To the 5 and the 2. How you feeling about the Vikings? About as uneasy as I usually do. I believe in Kevin O'Connell, though. I think he's a great coach. Can he pull the right levers this week, though? You should do in my eras. I haven't gotten to play one yet, and I thought that was the coolest thing when they announced it. Like, you know, I collect games. I want to get all the 2Ks for all the different eras, because don't they do different eras every year? Like, that is so cool to me. I love to find a way to, you know, work NBA content into what I do. We'll see what I can figure out this year. I mean, I haven't been doing Road to Glory or player-based stuff, and I think I found a way to incorporate that. It's a year of experimenting ahead of me, for sure. Have you seen the 2017 roster for Madden 25? I haven't. Is there a good one? Like, you word that like it's a big one. Or is it just like a random one that was on the share? Chuck Johnson's going to scramble. You can't stop him. Call a timeout and let Chuck go to work. With face scans? Is it a mod? Like on a PC? Would have to be. Empty for Chuck Johnson. Knocked away. Thrown behind Heath Tuck, who's wearing a running back number. It has face scans on console? Are they just like... Do they have all these face scans just deep in the files somewhere? Does Trevor Lawrence have a short leash this year? If Johnson keeps playing the way he has, maybe. That was Merriweather on the catch, by the way, setting us up for a go-ahead field goal. This has been pretty fun. Where's my copy of NBA 2K10, though? You guys want to see a 360 banger? What you know about Need for Speed Most Wanted, the original Most Wanted. I actually liked the Most Wanted reboot from 2012, gotta admit. It was one of the first games I'd ever actually gotten for, like, free, being a content creator. I don't like it because of that. I just like the game. But this game is better. This game is better, man. Why hasn't EA remastered this one? I was thinking about, like, you know, probably have too many ideas in my head. But, like, you know, I don't do any racing stuff over here. It's strictly, like, traditional sports. But I do like racing games as well. I don't play them nearly as much because I don't make content around them. But sometimes I wish I did. But what would I do that would make racing content worth watching? I don't know cars. I'm not good at the game. I'm not knowledgeable about the game. I'm going to sim us more so late in the game, if you wouldn't mind. Let's jump back in here. Did I do some videos on Need for Speed? I might have. The Need for Speed reboot, I think. He's airing it out. He's open. That is a Dallas touchdown. What happened there? Really nice play. Wow. I do have a Need for Speed video from 9 years ago. 1.9K views. You must have been one of them. What happens if the Chargers and Rams both host the championship games? They would be on back-to-back days. I imagine that the conversion from one theme to the other would not be much of a concern. If you ever watch, like, the sped up, you know, like turning a basketball arena into a concert venue, into a monster truck show, like, they're professionals. They know what they're doing. Was that was Solomon Kid who scored. That was Solomon Kid. He was on our team. Wow. I want to see Kane do some games like Madden 09 again. I thought about just doing some retro streams. That's a drop for Joe Wilder. So this here, Johnson completing, getting 9. This is the 20-year collector's edition of Madden 09. So this disc is actually a different disc than base copies of Madden 09 would have. Nice running by David Montgomery. This has, I think, some AFL stuff on it, AFL presentation. That might have been something you could download, but one thing it does have is John Madden Football 93 with the Madden 2009 rosters put into it. That's pretty cool. I think the only way you can get it is with the specific 20th anniversary disc. Over the middle and dumped complete to Heath Tuck. So we're down 11 here with 4 minutes left to go. Johnson across the middle, and you got to do a better job squeezing that ball, Luke McCaffrey. I thought it was Championship Sunday, one late afternoon, one on one night. Is it both on the same day? You might be right. Yeah, I think it is Championship Sunday. If it was that situation, though, where like LA, the Rams would play one day, the Chargers the next, I believe they would make it a Saturday, Sunday. There's probably a contingency for that exact scenario. It would either be Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday. Touchdown! And taking the top off the defense, we have Heath Tuck. Let's see how he did it. He's definitely stood out. A lot of touchdowns I've noticed come on this cover 2 invert. It's one of the worst coverages in the game because you're going to get beat deep almost every time. It's like a disguised coverage, which really is just guys lining up way off their spots where they're going to be covering, and they don't have hustle to get into those spots. Never call cover 2 invert. Worst play in the game. It's a play action. We're trying to get the football back, and that is a sack. Mason Smith. What happens if Darnold leaves? J.J. McCarthy saves the day. Just like he saved Michigan. They run on 2nd and 18. Not well, though. Jordan Jefferson on the stop. I don't have a custom defensive playbook. No, not right now. But if there was something specific I was trying to accomplish, I mean, it would still be a good idea to sort out some game plans just for, like, you know, 3rd and long, for instance. Like, maybe no cover 2 invert on 3rd and long would be a good place to start. It's a handoff on 3rd and 18, not much. I did hear Northern Illinois is going to the MAC. Or wait, are you saying they're going to Mountain West? Northern Illinois. Why would they go to the Mountain West? I guess, you know, geography doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Illinois is completely flat. They're going to the Mountain West? They're going to have to change the name to the Mid-Mountain West. Combining the Midwest and the Mountain States. Chuck Johnson, what a throw and catch by Julian Singh. Lead us to the promised land, Chuck Johnson. We're down by 3 with 1:20 left to go. He tosses it over the head of a receiver. He's still a developing young quarterback. First time being able to make it to a live stream. Well, I haven't streamed in 598 days on this channel, so, you know, I didn't exactly create a lot of chances for you, Cody. Good scrambling by Chuck Johnson as we get into scoring position here. And Chuck's going to toss it underneath, and Wilder angles outside, flies up the sideline for a touchdown. Joe Wilder might have to stick at tight end. 53 seconds left. Kane, as a Minnesotan, what's your opinion on Illinois? I've never actually been to Illinois. I never had a reason to go to Illinois. Well, that's not necessarily true, but I haven't been. Is it true in Illinois there are still a couple Rax restaurants left? The only time I've been to Chicago was at O'Hare. I was only there for an hour. I know there's some in Ohio. Never seen one. Never heard of it. There's a video that went viral talking about Rax restaurants and their bizarre, you know, business. And it's a video that stuck with me for a long time. That's why I ask. Trying to protect in a 4-point game. Oh my goodness. I thought he just ran him over. At least he made the tackle. I got a super chat here to catch up on. Pressure's there, and the check down is good. Chicago, or Dallas, does have to go all the way down the field, keep in mind. And they go trips left. I think this is going to be 4 verts. Up the seam. Solomon Kidd. And we're going down to the wire here. 33 seconds, no timeouts. It is the preseason, and these guys are fighting to put on a show. Bowman, complete. Get him down. He fights. He's down to the 1. Glover. Oh, man. Is this going to come down to this play? Blitzing. Thrown away. One more. Why is the preseason so wild right now? Finish the job. Bowman. Knocked away. And that's going to be the ball game. Jags win it. Wow. Why is that the best game of the series? Why this one of all games? Chuck Johnson had a game-winning drive. See, if I didn't stream, this would have never happened. Charles Omenahu. He's the one who knocked the pass down. They tried to break our hearts. Look at that. Basically double covering that route. That was fun. We got 2 more games to cover. Also in this, you know what? I'm all over the place. I have a super chat to respond to. First time being able to make it to a live stream. Yes, I commented on that like 5 minutes ago. Been watching for 9 years. The best content creator out there. Only if my Titans could produce the same quality. Bring back Super Mega Baseball. There's something I would like to do in Super Mega Baseball. Now that I've done a lot of baseball series, I think it would be fun to have a small thing on that game where I can bring some of the legends from my baseball series with the Oakland Athletics, the St. Louis Cardinals, my Road to the Shows, the Twins franchise, and have the likes of, you know, Joe Michael in there, or Maxwell Fowler from the Twins series, Yusniel Cruz. It would be fun to have a custom team and to do something small with them. I haven't played Super Mega Baseball in a while, but I love the game and the series. I wish that the fourth game had caught on more, and even I didn't end up playing a whole lot of it because I had so much going on. You know, I've been doing things on the channel a bit differently the last couple of years, and I haven't found a way to incorporate other games as easily. Oh yeah, David Geronimo. Yusniel Cruz was A's franchise. The card series only has a couple names to really put in because I didn't go far enough to let them really make an impact. So we'd have like Benny Matsumoto. And then we'd have at first base. Oh, it's only been a month and his name is already escaping me. Daryl Marino. Yeah. And then maybe some bench players. You know, you got to have... oh, man. Who are the 4A players from these two series? Man, my head has not been thinking about this for a while. Oh, Aaron Don's a stud. He'd be on that team for sure. Who was the fast running back you drafted in the Browns franchise? The wide receiver convert, Perry Cummings. Position battles. Oh, am I going to answer the questions correctly? Yes, Luis Estrella. And then we need, in the Cardinals series, in my first draft. I mean, I just can't remember his name right now. The High Sox. You should be having a quarterback position battle. Who will determine the winner between Trevor Lawrence and Chuck Johnson? I panicked. Highest quarterback rating. Thank you, Odell. I appreciate the super chat very much. They're trying to give us a position battle. And right now, it would certainly be Chuck Johnson in every category. Trevor's going to have to play better. Arrington paid the journalists. Arrington. He's behind this somehow. Let me see if I missed a super chat here. I apologize if I did. I'm going to try to pull up my full... Ooh, 4 kick accuracy is nice. I'm going to try to pull up my super chat screen. What's up, Kane? Thoughts on Caleb Williams' rookie season and who you would like to see the Bears hire as head coach? Well, as a Viking fan, I'd probably like for them to hire Adam Gase. But if I were a Bears fan, I'd probably be jumping for joy for Ben Johnson. I would also be okay with like a Pete Carroll. Just as like, sometimes you need a coach that is going to stabilize the team. You know, there are certain guys that I think can get you to being a mid-tier team again. I think like Ron Rivera is one of those guys. Like his teams typically, even in down years, were not like picking top 5. I think you'd want Ben Johnson, ideally an offensive, oriented head coach. Rex Ryan, your new Bears head coach. It would be entertaining. But overall, the Caleb Williams season, it was a mess. There were glimmers of like, really good signs of play, but I do think that a lot of damage was done, and even down the stretch, like the offense had been very simplified. He was still taking a lot of hits, And it just felt like they were constantly playing defense on offense, which is what you do when your offensive line is in that rough a shape. You're not going to be able to call what you want. You're going to be calling what you have to call. And it felt like I think Caleb needs this offseason to kind of reset and to come in next year fresh. Because while he did have good moments, I don't think that like the signs of him being a franchise quarterback were as evident the more the season went on. You had some of those moments earlier, but I think they kind of disappeared. Yeah, building the offense around like Keenan Allen's screens and stuff, you know, that only has limited upside. If the Bears did get Mike McCarthy, they would, of course, get memed to death, but I don't think it would be like a disaster hire. I also don't think it would be a great hire. And maybe after all this time, the Bears need just like a decent hire. Unless you can get Ben Johnson, assuming he's the top of their wish list. I did see that Davis Webb got a head coach interview. I had no idea he was even a coach. If you asked me this morning if I thought Davis Webb was on a practice squad or a coaching staff, I don't know what my answer would be. Uh-oh, Trey Tucker's heading into the locker room. He just got hurt on the first play of the game. Play fake, and across the middle, that is Brian Thomas Jr. That's the kind of thing we have not been seeing in this series. 52 yards from Trevor Lawrence. What about a Frank Reich? You know, a few years ago, before he went to Carolina, I thought he might be a good, you know, stabilize the ship head coach. Now, I don't think I would make that same bet twice. Hands off, wrapped up. Like, why should he have a chance to coach the #1 pick again at quarterback when it went so poorly in Carolina? Before he gets another head coaching gig, he needs another 4 or 5 years building his stock back up as a coordinator. That is going to be short for Eli Arrington, unfortunately. But a nice drive, you know, sparked by the big play of Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going to focus a lot on the offense because it looks like we have a position battle suddenly. Of all the slow sims you've done, which Madden had the most realistic gameplay for this series? I really liked doing Madden 20 with the Bucks. I also think that Madden 21 with the Texans was a really good one. I had an easier time in Madden 22 and Madden 23. The gameplay was certainly not bad or drastically different, but 20 and 21 I think were particularly pretty strong. Pressure getting there. Lawrence has the answer. It's Eli Arrington. I did play football for a little while in school, yes. Played. Ooh. Thomas! He's having himself a big day and a 54-yard touchdown. Played running back, which I didn't like that much. I wanted to play a receiver. But I also liked playing corner a lot in safety. I think corner more so. So, I do think some of the new plays are going to unlock some of the big play potential that we have not been seeing. I also return punts. Why didn't you like running back? Because I wasn't that big, I wasn't that strong, and I didn't like getting hit all the time. I wanted to play receiver. Ooh, Josh Hines Allen. I didn't like picking up blitzes either. No, I couldn't have played quarterback, man. No chance. I'm contesting these throws nicely. I have my cornerback strength just one notch down on weak. I think it makes it more balanced. That was the case last year. My testing kind of showed the same thing this year as well. What about kicker? No way. I wonder what my max distance is at, like, kicking a field goal. If I had, like, all day to kick a field goal, how far could I kick one? It's not long, that's for sure. Nice. It's a good play, spinning out and finding him. 35 yards. See, I was thinking about that. Could I kick a 35-yard field goal? If I could kick a 33, an extra point, I'd feel pretty good about that. Especially without hurting myself. A catch and run. A big gain for the Giants. They're actually moving the football here with Phillips. I don't know what my 40 time would even be right now. I can't remember the first time I had to run fast. Phillips, the X Factor, knocked away. I used to play in high school, was a wide receiver in the slot, loved it until I got a concussion on a 5 and in route, basically retired after. Yeah, those concussions are rough. I had a friend who had to stop playing because of concussions as well. Third and 7. Spinning to find the open man. I mean, this team can really move the ball. We need the ball back, though, because I need Lawrence to put up some good passer rating numbers here. Touchdown, Giants. Wow. In Game 3, I might give Johnson some starting reps. Did I lower my kick accuracy slider? It's at 45. Do you guys have any experience dropping it further than that to make kicking more of a dramatic part of our experience here? Could I go down further without it being obnoxious? I would think I could. Unfortunately, it's not like an easy thing to like demo. I can't just create the situation and watch 50 kicks and see the data. I put my kick accuracy on 38. I lowered it to 35 and it worked for me. T-Law to Arrington. 5 catches, 30 yards. I'm just here for Chuck Johnson. I think a lot of people are here for just watching Chuck Johnson chuck it around. We'll get there eventually again. Lawrence dodging the pressure. And he gets the first down. Was he pointing for a block? If you wanted kicking to be a surprise, just hire Joey Sly. Maybe not that much of a surprise. 1st and 10. Dumped. Etienne across the 50. Pick up Jake Elliott if you never want to hit from 50 plus again. Yeah, what's gotten into him? Kickers go through funks, though, and he has a long-range one going on. I'm not sure if he's, like, hit a couple recently from deep to try and settle it down or not. Quarterback draft strength weak. I mean, it's an option. There's going to be years where, you know, there really isn't anything. I think there would be a nice middle ground if it were between default and weak. But unfortunately, I think one's a little high, one's a little low. I remember Dan Bailey, late career Dan Bailey after the injuries in Minnesota. With Mike Zimmer as head coach. It got weird. I'm currently watching your first Super Mega Baseball series from 2016. Could we see you playing that game again? I think I'd more so want to play the newest one because I barely touched it. I spent a lot of time on those first 2 games, though. Actually, the first and the third, I spent a lot of time on. Lawrence, 2nd down, 17. He's facing a lot of pressure in this game. And, you know, one thing that kind of factored into keeping Lawrence around for this year is that there's still so many developing pieces in this offense. It's not a very established unit. You have young receivers on their rookie deals, a bunch of young offensive linemen. So having like a veteran quarterback, to me, offered a way for the receivers to develop better. That includes the tight end, too. And, you know, just... it's hard to think of having young receivers, young O-line, rookie quarterback, and that like being a winning formula, at least early on. In the AFC. So a couple duds here on the last 2 drives. And now Trey Lance is playing. So backups are on again. Let me edit my depth chart. Do I think the Pats could still get Travis Hunter at the 4th pick? I guess that seems maybe a little late. You need 2 teams to go quarterback and then a team to prioritize defense for that to play out that way, or tackle. Quarterback, defense, tackle. You need 3 to go before 4 if you want Travis Hunter. Just getting some edits in here quick. Like, it's certainly in the realm of possibilities, but I think we'll have a better idea here and when we get closer to the combine. Oh, they do have this set up for like some two-way receiver, cornerback stuff. Does stat tracking work in this game? Say I put Arrington at defense, will it actually track his defensive stats? Because it doesn't do it properly. I can't believe it doesn't in college football. With Travis Hunter being a star, it doesn't work. See, I can't have Josh Allen out there right now. It's not time. All right, let's hope we can shut down Trey Lance and the Giants' offense. You know, there's one thing you might have missed in that Eli Arrington interview, actually. Did you notice he also requested that you leave a like on the video? We are sitting at 201 likes. Can we get to 250 to satisfy Eli Arrington? It would make him really happy if we could get there. Trey Lance hands off, and there's room, as they've given away Saquon Barkley's number in a hurry. I do remember him saying that, actually. See? It was in there if you paid attention. We got 223. We're getting there. Hand off again. That's a lot of daylight. And a first down, or close to it, for Zach Charbonnet. I tried to get him, but he didn't have interest in coming to Jacksonville. A lot of free agents have not to this point. Now we're at 236 on my end. Is it weird I've watched the Miami series twice now? Not at all. I think for this year, I will want to start my Madden series in like the launch window of Madden. I haven't now for a couple years. So, you know, thinking ahead to what I do with college football, I think for sure I'll be doing something in Road to Glory, because now I found a way to do it that's not going to be nearly as time consuming. I'd like to try Dynasty again with a more traditional Dynasty team, more of a rebuild than taking Miami, who was nearly a playoff team in real life. They toss it to Charbonnet, and he ran over Jordan Jefferson. I'd love to see Madden add more of a GM mode if they could make that experience deeper, because it's essentially what I'm doing here. But there are more functions I would like to be able to have as they beat us deep for a touchdown. Parker Washington, another former Jaguar, strikes. And who does he beat in coverage? Well, he beats this scheme, basically. It was a good deep over route. Zach is a new first round pick. Yeah, I have to name the channel member tier. Congratulations, Zach, on becoming a first-round pick. New member on the channel. We've had 7 new members today. Thank you, guys. I may have to fix this. The tight end, or no, that's McCaffrey getting it. 86 is usually a tight end number. But the jet sweep hasn't worked great. 2nd and 12. Dumped off, and up the field goes C.J. Merriweather. Chuck Johnson had a great preseason week 1. How does he follow it up? Hands off Merriweather. Overpowered. Ball came out at the end. And no first down. Let's get to the next drive then. Ooh, Julian Singh. Do I have a 2025 draft crush yet? I'm not sure. Like, I definitely watched college football this year, but the longer the season goes on, the more I find myself not having the time to really watch it. I really like college football, but it's hard to follow as close as I would want to. Play fake on second down and dumped over the middle to Merriweather. That's all good, Zach. You always got to do what you got to do. I appreciate you being a member here again. As we got a catch and a first down. It's Julian Singh, number 89. Took him in the 7th round. Over the middle and caught again by Heath Tuck. The give is stuffed to Merriweather. Let's get to 3rd down. Got to give Tuck a new number if he makes the team, I agree. That is caught for the first down. Nice hands by Sheffield, the backup tight end. Can Johnson put this in the end zone again? He has 3 touchdown passes in preseason this year. Throws it over the middle. Taken inside the 5 by Tuck. Related to Rhett Sheffield? You know, he might just be. It's a throw underneath as we get Wilder a catch. Had some big ones in the first game. And Merriweather, nope. Haven't seen him run with a whole lot of power at all. He's an elusive back and a little bit limited there, so 3rd and goal, toss out, and yeah, Dexter Lawrence is playing in the preseason. That's great. All right, can Chuck Johnson do it again? Did he throw a touchdown? Did they go for it? Because we have 17 now. Johnson incomplete for Joe Wilder. What if I have him be a receiver tight end hybrid? A little bit of both. Yeah, I didn't realize they had gone for it. Flipped! And no, that's a big loss. That play has a very low chance of being called. You won't see it, you know, a lot, but there's a chance. 3rd down and 15 for Johnson. He settles underneath. Wilder getting 10 of it back, so the defense still has to get us a stop. All you got to do is stop Trey Lance. What is that motion? Did you see the way he was running? He was running around like Bigfoot. I don't know if I can catch that on replay at all. Yeah, it doesn't go back far enough. Hello from Baton Rouge. How's the preseason going? It's been fun. We've had some good moments with the backups already. Hoping for more in this game, but they need to get a stop. Good protection for Lance, and nearly intercepted. Who do I have winning the national championship? Let me see the field of teams remaining. 3rd and 8. Passes dumped. First down, Charbonnet. Nobody was home. I know Notre Dame looked real good last week. Oh, it's tomorrow. We got Notre Dame, Penn State tomorrow. Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State. Running up the middle, Charbonnet. Good power. Can anybody stop Jeremiah Smith? That's the real question. College football has to deal with him for 2 more years? That Ohio State-Texas game is going to be a lot of fun. Devon Lewis hasn't looked great. I haven't seen a whole lot of him specifically. He's 52, though. He's right in the center of it. I can't use my telestrator on this software, though. Give it up. The telestrator is on my other streaming software, my recording software. I have to use this one for streaming because it allows me to stream, like with my webcam and stuff, but not actually record the webcam in the file that goes to my computer. And OBS Studio doesn't have that feature, which is where I have my telestrator on. That's been fun to break that out. Are these Mat 10 sliders? No, in slow sim, CPU, I go default. I don't use sliders. So if we get the ball, there ain't going to be much time for Chuck Johnson. It's going to take a heroic effort, of which he may be capable of. Oh, if you pick that, we might have a chance. Devon Lewis dropped it. So they're going to get a field goal try off. Maybe I can experiment further here in the next game if I turn the field goal slider down further. And we can just see how that plays for a game. All right, we might not win this one, but can Chuck Johnson get us another score? Johnson on first down. Hits Wilder for about 12 yards. 32 seconds on the clock. Johnson gets it away. Intercepted. Wanted Julian Singh. And you kind of have to force a ball here or there in this situation. So it's picked off. And that's going to wrap up preseason week number 2. Not as much offense. The Giants, they're a force to be reckoned with now, apparently. Preseason champions. I do want to get him some QB1 reps, though, in the final preseason game. At least see how he plays there. Let's upgrade Martin Cooper again. Second time we're going into Power Rusher. RIP Chuck Statline. Hey, it happens. He's going to have to show that he can bounce back from it. We have an injury. This could be Trey Tucker. It is Trey Tucker. He's going to miss the start of the year with a torn labrum. So, wide receiver 3 is an early question mark. It could be Heath Tuck. It just might be. Let me sim to our final week. NFL 2K5 series, I'd like to play it again. But as far as a full series, Probably not. So for QB rating, Johnson is still above Trevor. He has a lot of touchdowns. I don't know yet what I'm doing with that storyline as far as, like, if I'll even click on it. Because, like, I want to click on the storylines, but just, like, ride it out with the ones that I think actually make sense or that I think are fun. I appreciate the super chat, Logan. Your quarterback has to have the spiral to be good. Is that one of the traits? Sometimes I see something about that in, like, the draft profile or whatever. Tight spiral is a trait. I want to just see the list of traits and all the possibilities, because it's not just like one or two for some of them. So I'm not going to actually edit anything here on old Chucky. But throw ball away is more of a binary one. It's yes or no. Sense pressure has like 5 levels. Decision maker has 3. Fights for extra yards is yes or no. Quarterback style has 3. Where is tight spiral? As far as I know, you can't change it. Can I even see it, though? Unpredictable personality. I want to see the personality actually on Eli Arrington. It's hidden for whatever reason. They either have it or don't. Confusing. What is your personality, Eli? Leader. He's a leader. I thought he'd be more unpredictable. Or diva wide receiver. He's a leader. He leads in his own way. Let me see if there's anybody I wanted to specifically give a chance to play here in this last week. Merriweather only has 11 attempts for 17 yards. Tuck, 8 catches for him. Wilder has 6. Wish it tracked drops still. Let's see. Merriweather hasn't been great on the actual runs. Maybe I mix it up at running back here in this game. I'll change up more numbers. I don't always do it in preseason because I know there are like 15 to 20 players occupying numbers that won't even make the team. So it's just easier to change numbers when I cut the roster down. So is tight spiral when I'm drafting something I should pay attention to more? Because I'm not really getting good feedback on it, but it can't be a bad thing. I don't know what's going to happen with Arrington in the future. I don't know if he's going to be able to force his way out or how that's going to be handled. I have things like the franchise tag, but I guess we'll have to see what the future holds for him. I checked Chuck's scouting report. He has the beautiful spiral on all his passes trait. And so if a player doesn't have that, will it say, throws a wobbling duck through the air? Like a paper airplane or something? is either there or it's not. I forgot to edit the kick accuracy slider, but I think I'll be testing that out in the regular season anyway. Jaguar football, running it with Etienne, and a gain of 2. Lawrence on second down. He finds Curtis easily. We're going to 3rd and 3. I will give Chuck some reps, but I'm starting off with Trevor first. Play action has Arrington wide open. Gets to the outside of Winfield. First down. This doesn't look as much like something from my playbook. Maybe I didn't choose my playbook going into this game, because that formation I don't even mess with. Screen set up, and Etienne gains 7. I don't remember editing it, so maybe I forgot for this game. Third and 3. Sitting it down is Brian Thomas. We'll just let it ride. It's just preseason. But I like what I saw from the playbook in those first 2 games. Drills it to Thomas inside the 25. I'd like for them to have close to equal pass attempts in the preseason. What were we at before this game? Lawrence gets it away and dumps it underneath again. When will you break your Miami sports team curse? Well, I did win a ring with Miami, so I feel like I have. Oh my. A bad pick for Lawrence. Winfield is flying across the 40 and stopped by Travis Etienne. That was ugly. No, I haven't gotten Gino a snap yet. So we're going to try Chuck. I'm out on Lawrence. Eli Arrington is correct. Chuck Johnson is in the game. Dumps it incomplete for Etienne. Do I wish I had more people watching my channel, or am I happy with what I have? I am very happy with the audience that I have. Arrington, I thought he stayed in bounds. I would like to do a better job at finding ways of getting like more subscribers, of course, but I think that I have a really good community on both channels. It's part of why I really enjoy streaming. Like, you know, I'm here basically, no moderators. We're just chilling, having a good time. Most of the people here have been here for a long time. And it's not always about just making the number go up either. Like, I want to bring in people that are going to, you know, have the same vibe as everybody else in the comments. First and goal from the 7. That is a touchdown. Eli Arrington. Chuck Johnson scores again. Oh, wait, how we get the ball back so fast? Another touchdown to Eli Arrington. So, yeah, he's really... Let's give him another drive with the starters. Inside give, and Etienne only gets one. Four-man rush. Johnson floats it perfectly to Luke McCaffrey, who could see some early season playing time without Trey Tucker. I'm here. I'm the mod. Etienne. He could go, but maybe not here. We run Etienne. Tumbles down with three more. I'm starting to wonder about this whole quarterback thing we're seeing play out here in the preseason. Chuck Johnson, 2nd and 7. Right to McCaffrey. He gains 6. What does the LP in Mr. Hurricane LP mean? This was meant to be my Let's Play channel where I played non-sports games, and it was for a couple years. And then it turned into a channel where I would do other sports-related stuff. And, you know, this just happened to be on this channel, so. Inside give. Come on, Etienne. Got it to the 2. Now, can we punch it in? Do you trust Etienne here against the light box, or do you trust Chuck Johnson? The answer is Etienne. All right. The offense is clearly clicking right now. I'm very impressed. And I'm now going to put Lawrence back in the game. We're taking him out of timeout for throwing a bad INT in the red zone. Why did you leave Minnesota? It barely snows anymore. I find that hard to believe, but the cold is worse than the snow. The cold is worse. Actually, in January, it usually gets too cold for it to snow. You usually go into a deep freeze this time of year for about 30 or 40 days straight. There's not a lot of snow, but there's, you know, negative 30 degrees with minus 50 degree wind chills. Every parking lot's a skating rink. Oof. Got any more videos like the Vikings one you did just plan? Not right now. The next, like, non-main stuff I'm doing is going to be more of the not Tim Cannon. Yes, the Tim Cannon Road to Glory, and the Miami series is not quite done yet. There will be a little bit more. I like to wrap up Kunalik's career, which might be 1 or 2 videos. I haven't decided yet. It's also not just a decision. I have to see what type of year it ends up being. 11 inches of snow in KC last weekend. Let's get 11 more before the division round game, okay? Right on top of Arrowhead Stadium. Like, you can keep the rest of it clean. But let's get, you know, let's get a good game there with a foot of snow on the ground. Lawrence, 40 seconds to go. Floats out to Arrington. Does this Madden slow sim faster than 24? Same speed as far as I'm aware. 35 seconds to go, and Lawrence throws away. I'm thinking of doing a similar rebuild like you with the Jags. What's a good team to do it with? I always find it to be fun with the teams where you can build an offense and watch them grow together. So, like, Tennessee would be a really good team for that right now. They're picking number 1, obviously. Outside of them, the Raiders are a really good pick. There is no future, quarterback, running back, receiver outside of, like, Brock Bowers. So, the Raiders are a great selection. Or you could take a team and say, this ain't working. I'm going to overhaul this. And then I think it's interesting to look at, maybe Arizona if you wanted to move off of Kyler Murray. Or if you wanted to overhaul Miami, like trade away Tyreek, trade away Tua, start over and build around A-Chain and Waddle or something. Add a quarterback and an O-line and a new receiver. All right, we're going to keep going back and forth between these quarterbacks. Chuck Johnson back in. A one-handed catch just because he can. Eli Arrington. I love this guy. He's a great character for our series and a great player. Easy one-handed snag. Save that for later. You know what? I might have to get a Chuck Johnson shot one of these days eventually anyway. Because who knows what week 1's about to bring. He does look really good today. I like to do the screenshots directly here on the console because they're 4K screenshots. I only capture in 1080. So I grab all my thumbnail shots right from the console itself. This organizes it better anyway. Play action, dumping. ETN. That was a messy play. It's a run, and enough for the first down. Let's see him open it up now. Although I don't think this is my playbook in this game. He's making audibles. Okay, he's calling the game at the line, getting it out to easily, gain of 3. Play action. Johnson's going to run, but not outrun the pursuit. Third and 11 now. What does he do? Next drive is going to be Trevor's. Chuck Johnson takes off. He's got it. I love it. No slide necessary. Move the sticks. By the way, if any of you happen to be new to the channel, you definitely need to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Johnson's going deep. No. Incomplete for Brian Thomas Jr. Inside give. Travis Etienne, good running for 8. Where'd you get that jacket? My wife got it for me for Christmas. I believe it's from the PlayStation, like, official gear store. It's the Astrobot hoodie. Has a bunch of, like, PS1 related stuff on it. There's a lot of cool stuff on this sweatshirt. I think there's more stuff on the back. Play fake from Chuck Johnson. Decides to pull it down. And runs inside the 30, getting 12 more. It's pretty sick. First and 10 for Chuck Johnson. Tosses it to the open Thomas. Do I think Arrington will be the next Rudolph from your Titans franchise? As far as like a game-changing superstar, like absolutely he seems to be in that same mold. Different type of player, not exactly the same, but maybe about the same impact. Second down and 13. Johnson again will scramble. He breaks a tackle of Vita Vea, gets the first down. This guy's unbelievable. He wants the starting job. He just broke a tackle of Vita Vea. I have to get a shot of that. Etienne down to the 1. Before Madden deletes it. Oh my God. You didn't waste any time. Why are you keeping this? If you're going to delete the replays, at least wait a while. Take us in. Etienne wrapped up. This might be on old Chucky. Ooh. That's an injury to the O-line. Third and goal. Toss for Etienne and Winfield. I wonder where he learned that move from. All right. Bruised sternum for Ezra Cleveland, so he's coming out of the game. I have to stall now for 20 seconds. That's the way it works. This has been a really fun stream, guys. I've really enjoyed this. This might become a regular thing. And again, I am very open to streaming some regular season action because I don't watch every game anyway. And if I want to watch more, I think the best way to do it is through streams. Let me just see if they go for it. They don't. Hey, being an average offensive lineman's a good gig, okay? It's hard to replace those guys. It's inconvenient. So I tend to pay average or better offensive linemen when I can. All right, Trevor's getting the next drive. This might be the last moment for our starting D. I have no idea who their quarterback is, but he almost threw a pick right there. Because they moved off of Baker Mayfield this season. And they give it inside. And that's a 5-yard pickup. Who is this quarterback? David Corner. All right, so they took a rookie. He is a rookie. Inside give, and a good stiff arm there. Learned that one from Chuck Johnson. I like Bucky. Big Bucky Irving guy. Even though he left Minnesota. I mean, I did too, so who am I to judge? Gain of 3. 3rd and 6. Bucky Irving to the outside. And we don't have much more time here at the starting unit as we're going to hit the end of the quarter, and then we have to edit the depth chart one more time. Running inside. Nope. Who's my favorite TV judge? I don't watch court TV. I have no idea. I feel like that was a previous generation thing. I have way too many like Xbox 360 retrospective and obscure indie game videos to watch. No, you gotta let me back out. How do you keep your remote from turning off when you're not actively watching the games? I have my timer probably set to something where it's long enough to where I have an input. I'm also plugged in right now. Maybe that has an impact on it. I don't need to be. I'm having Joe Wilder play #1 receiver. Let me get actually the backup in there. Greg Andrews. Almost done with this. Yeah, let Monty play a little bit more. This is always like the worst part of doing these streams is when I'm sitting here not talking and just doing the depth chart for the 3rd time. So I apologize for that. I want to do another Dynasty in CFB before we get the next game. Any good 1-star teams? Well, by definition, 1-star teams aren't very good. I know what you mean. 1-star teams. You know, Kent State's pretty down bad right now. Kent State's a good choice. Can I recommend somebody that isn't in the Mountain West? Huh. One star. I don't know all the 1-star schools. Is UTEP 1-star? What about one of the new teams like Jacksonville State? We got Lawrence back in the game, and he throws it into coverage. Kennesaw State, yeah, that's one that teams or people were rebuilding a lot back when CFB first dropped. You've done Kennesaw and Akron already. Akron has really good uniforms too. I think they're a good pick. But if you've done them already, maybe they're not 1-star, but what about like Idaho? Hard place to recruit. They play in a dome, one of the few college football teams that does. Idaho is FCS and not in the game? Are you guys serious? The Kibbe Dome isn't in the game now? That is heartbreaking. I didn't know that. They got demoted. Wow. That kind of sucks. I didn't know that. How'd they do this year? Oh, they beat up on the likes of Eastern Washington and Weber State and Idaho State. Idaho went 10-4. Good for them. Must have been a playoff team if they played 14 games. That's just kind of disappointing to learn. Coastal Carolina has the best field and is really bad, and they have a good look too. Coastal's pretty cool. Knocked away and intercepted. Love the takeaway there. A little tip drill, and it's intercepted. Nick Cross. Oh, the leapfrog. Little teamwork there in the secondary. That's nice. And out comes Chuck Johnson. Is he QB1? Is he QB2? Yeah, running with a backup offensive line, especially facing some of these like starters that always end up on the field defensively, almost never works. Johnson, this works. He doesn't like to slide, though. Never played baseball, that's for sure. Third and 5 for Chuck Johnson. Oh, he got away. He's really scrambling a lot in this game. Johnson underneath. Joe Wilder, remember, is playing as a wide receiver right now. Oh, I have to answer this super chat here. Johnson is sacked. Top 3 franchises in dynasties you've ever done in terms of enjoyment on my side. Whew. Top 3. Kalispell. I mean, that was a really special series. Johnson slings it, and it's caught. He just throws it perfect. Heath Tuck. I feel like the Browns series has to be up there. It's been such a... The Dolphins franchise. Browns, Kalispell. Oh, my, Wilder. And Broncos. I think that's how it would go. Broncos, Kalispell, which were 2 series that were linked together. And then the Browns rebuild. You know, that was a special start to that whole franchise rebuild thing for me. And it's one of the most iconic because of Perry Cummings. Chuck's grandpa is Jimmy Johnson. Oh, that's where he learned a few things about playing this game. Dontrell Maynard inside the 10, but can't get much. I've had a lot of great, you know, memories from these series, and it's hard to pick only a couple. We just threw a screen to a tackle. Get the preseason over with, man. Third and goal. On the screen, Maynard. He breaks the tackle, breaks into the end zone to give Chuck Johnson another touchdown. I think Dontrell Maynard has been better than C.J. Merriweather. He threw him away. Get out of here. Now we can watch the rest of it. I should, like, recreate Perry Cummings in this game. Somehow. Should I do, like, a Perry Cummings bit? Create him. Let him get drafted somewhere and follow his career. Like, put him into a draft class. Simulate through a franchise and see what happens. Give him the exact ratings he had back in the Browns series. List him at running back. Perry Cummings, the sequel. I've never done something like that. Ooh. That was risky. Perry Cummings the second. I know those of you that are subscribed and watch the content would probably enjoy that. That would be an interesting idea. Perry Cummings the second. I've used Perry Cummings as a coach, I'm pretty sure. I've brought back a lot of players as coaches. Was Perry Cummings... I'm trying to remember my coaches from earlier in these series. 3rd and 6. And a strong pass to the outside extends the drive. By the way, if we get another possession, it's going to be Trevor's possession. Perry was never a coach. That's a loss on my part. They set up the screen. We have not seen much there at defensive end from our rookie there. Martin Cooper's been pretty quiet. Don't eat up all the time. I want a few more plays, Davis Mills. I should do a better job of paying attention to those draft storylines. I did see them prior to my most recent draft. Now that I know where they put them and when they do it, because it's changed. They use that, like, right side on the main screen now in the offseason. Kind of at the beginning of the offseason. Yeah, I'll probably have to start following that better. But I did it for this most recent. All right, guys, get the ball back. Although we're just going to take a knee. That's nice. Yeah, we're not going to call real plays, though. Don't review it. End the preseason. There should be no challenges in preseason. Picked up on the onside kick by Heath Tuck, who definitely has cemented a roster spot with his play in this stream. All right, Trevor Lawrence just takes a knee, and we're going to be wrapped up here in the preseason. So, if I want to follow that storyline and play the player who did look the best in preseason, then Chuck Johnson would be your week 1 starter. I feel like there's a bunch of people who would watch the episode that aren't going to be seeing this stream. And if we see Chuck Johnson in week 1, they're going to be like, what happened? A lot happened. Because Chuck Johnson put on a show tonight. He really did. I thought he looked pretty good against the starters, too. I thought he looked better against the backups. Got more chances against them. All right, I guess that's going to be what I have to click on then if I want to follow that. The media interview, who knows what that's going to be. But here were the preseason stats then. Chuck Johnson, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. Trevor Lawrence, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. And obviously a significantly better QB rating for Chuck Johnson. Yeah, his deep ball is not great. His accuracies overall are not great. But he looked good today. He was also our leading rusher. Heath Tuck thrived with him. Joe Wilder thrived with him. Devon Lewis leads us in tackles, had 2 TFLs. 3 sacks for Charles Omenihu, just 1 for Martin Cooper. How did you get your franchises to be so entertaining on console? I usually play it on PC because of the mods, but would love to come back to console. I don't think I'm doing anything like manipulating the game in any way. I think I have an approach to the game that lends to it being fun, being a little more grounded and just, you know, trying to be a little more realistic in my approach to things, trying to, you know, team build in a more realistic way. But I don't know that I'm doing anything too special. Obviously, I got 600 people here tonight watching and just having a good time. That makes it, you know, so much more fun that way. Letting the players drive the experience and just, you know, like tonight, it's the Chuck Johnson stream. We're all hyped up about him, celebrating him. It was a lot of fun to watch him play. Letting the players drive the story, I think, is a key to continued enjoyment. I want to know who the one person is that disliked the stream. It was me. It was me all along. It might have been Trevor Lawrence, to be honest, because this wasn't his night. So tomorrow is going to be a week 1 episode. We might be seeing Chuck. He might be given a big moment to run the new offense, show us what he can do. And who would that be against? Houston. It's a division game. It is a division game. Who do we got this year? 3 on the road. So Texans, Saints, Colts, Panthers, Falcons. So my plan this year is to sim the early season a bit heavier. We have had good starts to years, but then fall off in the second half. So I want to breeze through this section a bit more, especially if we have all these out-of-conference games. 3 of our first 5 opponents are in the NFC South. So we're going to go fast to start. Get to the trade deadline. And then see what the second half brings. If we end up with, you know, more big games, a team that's in better contention, we'll see. I'm also very curious how this new draft class is going to look. I cannot check it out until I get to week 1, I believe. Because I do want to know if it's a good quarterback class or not. And that's going to obviously be a big situation for us. As far as free agents go, there are only a couple big decisions we have to make this year. One of them is pretty obvious. But 5th-year option on Eli Arrington, fifth-year option on JD Short. Otherwise, the actual free agents this year, nothing too difficult. But yeah, I think I could also consider doing a stream during this regular season. If there is a time where, like, I finish an episode, I see a couple, like, mildly intriguing games that might not make it into the next episode, then maybe I break out another stream. Those highlights can make it into the next video, and we go from there. How would that sound? This was a really fun stream. I really enjoyed doing this. And I can tell you that my next stream is going to be in less than 598 days. I appreciate all of you coming tonight to the first stream in a long time, the first of the Jaguars franchise, and there will be more to come. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like on your way out and subscribing to the channel, I would appreciate it. And I will catch you all tomorrow in the next episode of the Jaguars franchise. We'll see where year 3 takes us. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to be entertaining. And we're going to do this again probably next preseason. I will plan on streaming again probably during this regular season even. But this was nice to get back to. Thank y'all for coming by tonight. And if you're, looking for a little more content, I suppose I could drop the Buffalo Mac Championship. All right, it's up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.